Hello everyone and welcome to Finance of JCR. Great to have you here today. Thanks for joining me and I hope you're doing well. Today is part of the regular series which I try and post about once a month, is the progress that I'm making towards the £1 million portfolio challenge. This is as of yesterday, which is 29th of June. I'm hoping it can give you some good ideas. You can have some fun following my progress, and hopefully I'll learn a few things and hopefully share some good and bad experiences with you along the way. So it's just a quick refresher, long-term challenge. I want to try and make, ideally 10% a year, and there's £300 a month going into the pot. And we started with 20,000 in 2020. Just a quick review of how the portfolio is structured at the moment. We're getting on for 2/3 of the value is in individual company stock holdings. Approximately another third is in trackers and managed funds where other people effectively are managing the money. And then there's a few odds and sods, as it were, in the areas at the bottom. Cash is quite low, and I'm conscious of that. I've got some exit strategies on a couple of stocks, but they haven't quite met the criteria yet. But when they do, they'll be gone. A bit more cash. I'm fully invested there, however, so I shouldn't complain too much. Because when the market has a good day, then I also have a good day. Latest view on the individual stock selections is now just over 10% a year on that 62% block there. So that's good news. And we'll go into the results in a moment. Just a small number of notable portfolio changes since the last update. One new position, which is in the Australian listed company, Kelly Partners Group. It's quite hard to actually buy that one, but I managed to get it through Interactive Brokers. And if you want to buy Australian stocks, or this one in particular, there's a link down below to Interactive Brokers. And this looks like a really good long-term compounder. The CEO has some good plans and he seems very impressive. I've averaged into Tattooed Chef stock. I've sold out of Skills. It was never really my favourite company. Very, very volatile. And there were a few things that bothered me on it, so I wanted to get rid of it. And I managed to sell out at a 15% profit in probably less than 6 months. So I'll take that any day of the week if it's not 100% convinced about. Well, I probably shouldn't have bought it in the first place. I didn't understand it as well as I needed to, so it's probably a learning for me. So last month, just a refresher, ended up with just shy of 37, which is well ahead of the target, so that's great news. And there's another £2 to go in, so we're looking at 39 by the end of this calendar year, 2021. And where we've got to is it's good. It's a good month. So current value is now just over 38,000. Portion of that, about a quarter, is from additional deposits, and 3/4 is from investment gains. So it's been a pretty good month on the gain front. And there's another 1,800 to go in as we're now halfway through the year. So we're looking at £2 shy of 40,000 year-end value. We compare that to the stretch target of 31,760. That is a good way ahead. So very much on track at this early stage. Now, of course, quite a long way ahead there, but this is only 4% of the way to the total pot size of £1 million. So there's a long way to go. Things can change, but happy to be ahead of the required run rate, as it were. So there's the picture for those that like in pictorial form. So in fact, we're looking like we're actually ahead of the 2022 just about stretch target. So yeah, then the market could stagnate for a year. We don't know. It's good to have a little bit of bandwidth at this stage. So I'll give you my top 3 and then my worst 3 as well, just for fun. So top performing stocks we've got here. Oh, I call them Contura Energy, but they renamed to Alpha Metallurgical Resources. Coal company, mine's coal for steel. And yeah, up 170%, so that's gained massively since last month. That's a really good gainer. And Unilever has just been pretty static, so it's hovering around that kind of high 90s mark. And Diamondback Energy, another cyclical, just up 87% in total, so that's doing pretty well. And yeah, the worst three, just for fun, and a slap on the wrist to me for this one, Great Than Gold. My thesis for buying this, and it was a speculative one, so it's one of our smallest positions anyway. It's turned out pretty poorly so far. It's early days, but I'm actually, the more I look into this, the more I'm not convinced. So I'm just trying to have a think about what to do, whether I cut the losses and redirect the cash, or whether I just keep looking into it and just be patient, because there's no rush on these things. It's only a loss once you crystallize it on paper. Now, Altisource Portfolio Solutions, this is another relatively speculative one. It's a cyclical one. They mainly deal with foreclosures in the American market, which federally have been prohibited, but could well come to an end quite soon. So you can see in the last week, they've been up over 40% alone, yet I'm still down 35%. When this gets moving, this is one that could quite easily 5x if the worst happens, which is a lot of foreclosures. And then plus 500 there is the third worst performer. So I've had that one probably about a year, maybe just under a year. Down 30% is not actually a huge amount. That's within natural variability for stocks. So we haven't got too many that are performing badly. I've got a bit of a challenge here, which I'd quite like you to play along with. Have a bit of fun here. So I'm going to try and post 14 videos in the next 14 days for fun. And the reason for that is the channel's now a year old. I thought let's have a bit of fun. See if you guys can come along on the journey with me. Bit of engagement, and 14 in the next 14 days. So let's see how we go. So just to close off then, largest positions has changed slightly. So Bank OZK is still number one. Aviva's moved up to second. It was third before. So Tasucha, as referenced earlier, with the top up, is now the fifth biggest position, displacing Unilever. Yeah, the average cost to me is around about $20. There we go. That is the state of the nation. If you want to join the channel, help out, there's a link to the Patreon there. Any support you could provide would be ace. And I'll try and add a bit of value to you, so you'll get updates when I buy and sell, and also my intrinsic value calculation template. There we have it. Hope you have a great day. Any questions, let me know below. And I'd be interested to hear how you think the portfolio is performing, and whether it's inspired you to perhaps start your own challenge and set some targets for yourself. Because at the end of the day, one of the key fundamentals for investing is setting targets that work for you and then measuring your performance against that. A lot of people measure against the index, which I don't necessarily think is wrong. You need to have, what are you trying to achieve to improve your life? Are you trying to achieve it? That's actually the most important equation. So thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one, and hopefully tomorrow for number 2 of 14.